I met Manley Doughty 15 years ago when I went up to Maine to seek out my fisherman for a painting. Now, years later, he's in the center of the American Mural. And when we started to think about our Maine project, and I was thinking of all this stuff we could amass that was Maine and put it in the fishing net. So that's what we did, a big scavenger hunt for Manley's fishing net.
My whole family's been fishing since the 1700s. And my father was fishing all his life. When I was 7 years old, he took me out to try and get me seasick. And I loved it. I was up on the bow jumping the waves. I've been out there ever since.
I've been working on this project for about 10 years. At first it was just me working on the thing. Then Sherry comes on. She's been working with us for 10 years on this.
Part of my job has been to organize the state projects as far as travel, and so it's really fun to be excited about knowing that I was going to be there for one of these projects too.
For 24 hours, everybody fanned out in all different directions looking for things that reminded them of Maine.
Just being able to be in a very relaxed environment with my children and seeing them explore and look for things, really to see the smile and their reaction is just a treasure as they learn something new, see something new. And really feeling like we are being a part of history that's documenting the history of the American worker.
Lori Roy's kids, Mackenzie and Michaela, were scanning the beach for all sorts of things, had bags of shells, and there was no limit to what people could bring. If they could carry it, it was part of the project.
And of course, there's the kelp that's been out there in the ocean, but it got uprooted, so washed ashore. So that's still part of the Maine coast.
Sherry and Holden dragged up from some cove, up a huge cliff, a piece of driftwood.
And so I hauled the driftwood up in my flip-flops up this cliff and around the bend back to the lighthouse.
And my mom had to carry it because it's like really heavier than a lobster cage, but it's not so odd.
We also did get the opportunity to work with some great kids on Prouts Neck. They got some stones and rocks and seaweed, and they embellished them. They painted them. They put their names on them, and we've now got those to insert into the fishnet.
Sea urchins. I should have guessed that.
The accumulative things, we almost couldn't get them all in 3 cars coming back home. We have fishnets and buoys.
Yeah, and look at how cool this is.
Whoa,
look at
what
that.
is that stuff?
Oh, awesome, Holden. And now I'm looking at it all around the studio going, this is going to be one big challenge for me to put all this together into the fishnet, but it's so exciting.
There's a big sense of accomplishment when you grab your nets and you build your nets from scratch and you go out and you load a boat up with fish. It's an industry you've got to love to stay in because it isn't a job, it's a way of life.